Hey everybody, I wanted to go over our new vegan vegetarian nutrition plan, okay? If you're doing any of our programs and you want to do more of a vegan vegetarian nutritional program, more plant based, we wanted to have that option for you. But here's the biggest misconception when it comes to vegan vegetarian programs. The first major misconception is that people think that it's healthier and that they're going to get better results, okay? That's not true. Period. We're not going to argue about it. This program is a vegan vegetarian version of a fat loss program. Okay? So that is still the outcome. The problem with most vegan vegetarian programs is the same thing that's wrong with every other program on earth. Is it's not built for a result. It's just built randomly for somebody else and you have no idea why you would follow it. This program is going to be designed to help you burn fat while trying to live that vegan vegetarian lifestyle. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm simply going to scroll through the program. You're going to have this in your email with this video attached to it. There's an introduction to the program. Here's the biggest thing. There are different levels of being vegan / vegetarian. Okay? Vegan is the most strict level. One of the main problems that we have with people is they'll come in and be like, ooh, I'm vegan, because they think it's a cool word. But then you ask what they eat, and they're eating things that would not make them vegan, okay? So if you are vegan, you do not eat meat byproducts, or animal byproducts. You do not eat honey, eggs, fish, poultry, meat, anything, okay? Anything that is animal related, all right? There's lacto-vegetarian, ovo-vegetarian, lacto-ovo, polo-tarian, and pescatarian. Pescatarian is probably the most popular actual version of what people do because it does allow you to consume fish and seafood, eggs and dairy. You just do not eat, obviously, red meat, poultry, and fowl. They don't consider eggs necessarily poultry or fowl in this case. So please understand that that's the difference. And so what I would suggest, and a lot of our clients have always been curious about this, and this is one of the reasons we built it too, is if you want to see how your body feels. Now, we recommend doing any program in anywhere from 21 to 28 days to kind of get the full experience and see how you feel on it, okay? You're still going to follow the rest of the guidelines of our normal programming. You still have to measure, but there's going to be some slight differences in the way that we consume this program because of the fact that the number one issue that a lot of vegans and vegetarians have with a vegan vegetarian lifestyle program is they don't know how to do it for fat loss, okay? And here's what happens. A lot of times I'm just scrolling through the unimportant information. I want to spend a majority of the time on the nutrition side, okay? Here's some big things that you're going to need to understand. The way that we teach our clients how to count nutrition labels and how to read nutrition labels, because remember, our job is to educate, not just give you information. Our job is to teach you how to do this long term so that you never have to start over. Remember, that is the ultimate goal of all of our programs, is how do we educate the community, how do we educate our clientele, and how do we give them the tools so that they can live the lifestyle they want while getting the results that they want. That is our ultimate goal. That's also why we've been so successful. So the number one thing that you're going to need to understand for a vegan vegetarian program is you're likely going to have a protein supplement, okay? Now, if you're strictly vegan, that means rice or pea protein options are going to be pretty much your available options, okay? What we're looking for in our protein supplement is very high protein per serving, very low carb, and practically zero fat. When I say very low carb, I mean 7-8 grams or less to over 20 grams of protein per serving. That is what we're looking for. We are looking for as clean of a protein source as we can find, okay? So please understand that. You can get vegan protein from pretty much anywhere. We would probably recommend First Form. We do not carry it anymore, but as long as you're doing any of the other options, okay, if you're not going strictly vegan and you're going more vegetarian, our protein has the least amount of lactose in it because it's a pure whey isolate. So that would be one that you could get away with definitely on this program. Okay. The other thing that you need to be aware of before we get into how we're going to count things and how you're going to have to track what you're doing is plants are very rich in fiber. Vegans and vegetarians get a ton of fiber over the day. You will need to drink more water and make sure that your food choices aren't all obscenely fiber heavy because your body does not digest fiber. Okay? Fiber is pretty much a lubricant to help you remove waste from your system. So please understand that you need to be aware of that. So your water intake may need to increase on these programs. Okay? What you're going to be doing for your macros is there's a men's and a women's, okay? We're still gonna have you just eat off the list, but as I go down, I'm gonna explain this a little bit different. And you need to read this too. So men are gonna be eating about 1,800 calories a day, women about 1,600 calories a day. And remember that a lot of these, your calories are not going to be as hidden in this program as maybe with some of our other programs, because you're going to have more options and more lists to choose from, which I'm going to cover down below. But how we count macros on our programs, and this is level 1, this is what you need to do to learn how to kind of figure out what's going in so that as you get coached, they can adjust the output, right? If we know the input, we can adjust knobs and make it more effective for you as your body gets used to things. But if we don't know what's going in, it's very difficult to coach you. So women, it's about 100 grams of protein, 150 grams of carbs, 65 grams of fat. But keep in mind that your vegetables because they're your main source of protein, this carb number is going to be very, very easy to hit. If you're eating off the protein and fat list, these numbers are going to be very, very simple to hit. For men, 125, 175, 65, okay? So here's our food list. There is a pescatarian food list option. So if you are doing the pescatarian program, you get these options included with your protein. So there's going to be a protein list. This option will obviously, there's a vegetarian protein list. This option would be your additional protein list. And these proteins are very, very lean proteins. They're very, very great choices. Same thing if you're going to do any of the other proteins. But this is where we want to spend our time. Because you're eating mainly plant-based, your diet is going to consist of a ton of this list. These are some of the highest protein per serving vegetables that there are. The problem with going strictly vegan is in order for you to hit protein numbers, you're going to have to eat a ton of this without powder, which is why we recommend that you have a supplement, mainly to keep the volume of food down, the level of fiber down into a controllable state. But also, a lot of you do not want to eat an entire sheet tray of broccoli to try to get 60 grams of protein, right? Like, you just don't want to do it in one meal, and you can't. So a lot of this is going to be trial for you. A lot of this is going to be working on it. But remember, our goal is to try to get as close to our numbers every day as possible. So remember how we count things. If it's on the protein list, we only count the protein, okay? So if you were to turn over a bag of spinach and see that there's a little bit of carbs in it, or kale or mushrooms, and you see there's a little bit of carbs or a little bit of fat, it doesn't matter. Because it's on the protein list, we're only going to turn over the nutrition label and find the protein and see how much we're going to need, okay? Same thing with the protein powder. As long as you're sticking to that protein powder that we talked about earlier, you're only going to count that. Now, that's the same thing with the fat, right? Nuts and nut butters are on the normal fat list. What does that mean? They're also on the protein and the fat list. So what this means is that you can choose how you want to count peanut butter. Because peanut butter is very high in fat and decent amount of protein per serving, if you wanted to eat more nuts and nut butters, you would just have to make sure you're counting the proteins and the fats so that you're not eating a ton of indirect calories, okay? Avocado, because it's a very pure fat, you don't have to worry about that. Olive oil, hemp oil, flaxseed oil, same thing. You do not have to worry about that, right? Cheese, full fat cheese, we're just counting the fat in that meal if it's on the fat list, okay? This is where the program changes slightly. If you're doing the vegetarian program, any of the foods on the protein and the fat list, you would just count the protein and the fat list. What if it has a little bit of carbs? It doesn't matter. We're only counting what list it's on, okay? So this is why you need to be very, very strict with sticking to the foods on the list, because this is where it's going to be very important. Carbs, same thing. These are pure carbohydrate sources. You do not need to count anything else if it's on the carb list, okay? It may have a little bit of protein. It may have a little bit of fat. It doesn't matter. If it's on the carb list, we only count the carbs. Now, we give you some sample menus here, some sample meals of vegan meals, as well as what the macros would be. There's different breakdowns. There's some of the fake meats and stuff like that that you guys can have. All that stuff is on here, all right? As you'll notice, the carbs are very, very high because most of your protein sources have a lot of indirect calories, which means they have a lot of either carbs or they have a lot of fats with them. So what we need you to understand is that this program, you're going to be counting a little bit more to try to negate some of that extra caloric intake. Because remember, guys, it doesn't matter if you're vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, paleo, gluten-free, omnivore, carnivore, whatever. It doesn't matter what program you're doing. If calories in are greater than calories out, you're not going to lose weight. And a lot of people that we work with on a daily basis who are vegan, vegetarian, a lot of them who have significant weight to lose think that it's a healthier option for them and that's how they're going to lose more weight. But in all reality, if they're not eating the right portions, they're not controlling the caloric intake, and they're not making the calories count the most, they're not going to be as effective, right? So the number one thing you have to learn, no matter what program that you do, calories in have to be lower than calories out in order for you to lose weight. On top of that, we want to make sure that the calories we're putting in are optimal to help us preserve lean muscle while burning fat. That's how you look more toned. That's how you have better energy. That's how your body reacts better. That's how you become mentally sharper. That's how you become healthy, is by controlling the type of calories coming in, the sources those calories are coming from, okay? These are the little things that are going to make a drastic difference over the course of your life if you learn them now. So that's the point of this, okay? As you can see, there's tons of sample meal combinations here for you. What I would suggest, pick 2 or 3, make your sample menu, okay? If you'd rather do all your own menu, you just pick foods off the list, that's totally fine. But remember, our goal is to hit our macro numbers, which were listed above, by the end of the day. That is the most important thing, okay? We really do not want to go really far over on any of those numbers, okay? Because then we start adding a lot of calories that we don't need to do. Now, at the end is a supplement guide. Again, do you need supplements? Absolutely not, but they might make life a lot easier for you, especially on a vegan vegetarian program with the protein powders, the fish oils, BCAAs to flavor your water, things like that. So please take a read through some of these, and you can see what we have available. But ultimately, if you're confused on good protein sources or you need help, reach out via email, reach out to your coach. You're going to have a coach the entire time you're on the program as well. Feel free to use us to the best of your ability. The number one thing we don't want you to do is get a little bit overwhelmed, okay? Our goal with this program is very, very simple. Our goal with this program is to teach you 2 things. 1, the benefits and how great you can feel on a vegan vegetarian program. 2, to find out if it's going to be a lifestyle that you think is conducive for you. But 3, and most importantly, it is a result-based program, which is to burn fat, preserve lean muscle, so you look better physically and you're sharper mentally, right? Whether you want to gain muscle, burn fat, the way that we schedule our programming, we can do that at the same time. We can preserve that lean muscle while toning up, tightening up. So whether you have 3 pounds to lose, no pounds to lose, or 150 pounds to lose, you can do it. But remember, our goal for every program is education, learning what we like, learning what we don't like. Here's what I'll tell you. This program is going to be a little hard for you to follow, especially at first. So what I would suggest is this. Really work on it for 3 weeks. 21 days where you're really intentionally trying to follow to the best of your ability the program so that you get to start to feel the benefits of why people really love eating this way. It is a great way to eat. It's a great way to live if it's for you, okay? And I'm not saying there's a right way or a wrong way to do it, but if this is a way that you've always been interested in trying, I really encourage you to do it, because it doesn't mean you have to do it for the rest of your life, but you can try it for a few weeks and see, man, I really liked how I felt when I incorporated a lot more green vegetables and eliminated meats and red meats and things like that. Oh man, my body feels a lot better when I don't eat dairy and animals and I'm focusing on putting good, clean, organic vegetables in my body all the time. Some people really feel like crap on this program. Some people, when they go vegan, vegetarian, realize that they're going to have to take supplements the rest of their life to try to get certain nutrients in because they're missing things like meats and things like that that we are meant to eat as humans. So there's different reactions for everybody, but you're not really going to notice the pros and the cons if you don't really give it a great effort. So with that in mind, the worst thing you can do is get frustrated, get confused, and not ask questions, okay? Make sure that you're asking questions. Guys, you can obviously use the sample meals as well, but all you have to do is just learn how to count macros and set up your menu. If you get confused at any point with setting up your menu, let us know. Our coaches will sit down with you. We can go over it with you on the phone. We can go over it with you on a Skype call. You can come into the gym and work with us at any time, and we will make sure that you understand how to do it. We will help you do it. We will guide you every step of the way. Make sure you're asking questions, because this program, to do it correctly and burn fat while being vegan and vegetarian, is something that we've found in our experience is very difficult for a lot of people. So I hope that you're excited about this journey. I hope that you're excited to learn about yourself. And I really hope that you really see the benefits of this program, because it's really, really great. I know Christian, Jessica, and myself spent a lot of time making sure that this program was going to be effective for you and that it was going to still get you the results that Platinum is known for, but also allowing you to see a different type of nutrition. Have a great day.